NAO show week 6. We got a special announcement here. We've gone through and we've looked at our viewership and our ratings, and we've made some changes here. So we fired some of the douchebaggery that's been going on here on the show. We kept the most important host that we have here so we can keep the Marky Mark matchup of the week going. The other two, we didn't know who they were anyway, right? So who cares, right? They'll play in a couple weeks in that bowl, and some trophy will get passed around there, right? Right, Mark?
That's right. That's right. The participation trophy. Yeah, for the Who Cares Bowl.
Nice, nice.
Nice, nice. Yeah, everybody saw Sean's little hissy fit in chat, and he quit, and then I brought you in, and Tank Top Mike had mixed feelings, mixed loyalties. He's known Sean longer than me, so he decided to go. So here we go. We got the Goofy and Marky Mark. We'll come up with a better name. It's a working title right now, but we'll come up with a better name.
Yeah, well, we can definitely work on that. Kind of like, Cowboys now, they're in a good situation now being back home with you. And I heard CeeDee Lamb had an outstanding game and, made things right here in the fantasy world. So I was glad to see CeeDee Lamb scored that touchdown right in the game. I
Oh,
missed it.
well, he did have a good game, but it was actually Brandon Cooks that got that late touchdown. It changed a lot of fantasy fortunes, as they say, and could be part of the reason that Sean had a little hissy fit. So
Yeah, I guess I got the wrong guy. I got to check my notes
yeah,
here.
yeah,
I'm
no, I
muted.
mean you assume CD, but yeah, yeah. So instead of Tank Top Mike, we got Hoodie Goofy. Again, working title. We'll come up with something better, but you're actually wearing a Goofy hoodie. Probably hard to tell, but there's the vest and there's the blue pants.
Got the only one on the market.
There you go. There you go. He didn't wear the mask, uh, so we didn't want to throw you off too much here. So
Yeah, I didn't want to scare the kids away.
yeah, we have our big wide viewership that we have. A lot of kids too, and we try to keep things good for the kids. So
Yeah, hate to disappoint Disney.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Well, we'll get on into the show. We always start off with the trades. Well, recently we've been starting off with the trades anyway, but there were no real trades this week. So I always every Tuesday I scroll back a week and I see what the transactions were. No trades, but I came to a conclusion this week that you guys need to get a life. I, it's like if there's no real transactions to make, you guys just go on and manufacture some. There were players being picked up and dropped that I never heard of. And I do deep dives for like draft prep and all that. There were players I had never heard of that were being picked up and dropped. And then we had a quote unquote trade, but it wasn't a real trade. So you guys need to get a life, man. I'm glad it keeps you amused though. I'm glad that our little league keeps you guys amused and having fun. You saw the Gronk trade, I guess, right there, Goofy. Were you you weren't involved with that, were you? I don't think.
No, I was trying to pick him back up again, and I didn't have enough capital to get in on that Gronk. You just got to keep staying out in this conversation. But just, I mean, if anyone's looking for some draft capital, I don't know anybody who's got some, but we can make some trades happen to get this trade interest going before the deadline comes up. Might
Yeah, yeah.
might have a fourth or a fifth available if someone's interested.
I heard you have a few picks to choose from. And yeah, the trade deadline is week 11. There were some questions about that in chat. It used to be week 10 when we were a 13-week season. We extended it to week 11 because we have a 14-week season. So you got till week 11 to come get those fourth or fifth rounders from Goofy.
Yeah, they're available. I got to be able to beat Hump and the guaranteed 1.01 that they've locked up here. Dr.
Yeah,
Donkey's 1.01 locked up
yeah,
already.
yeah.
So 1.02.
All right. Well, let's get into some scores. Keeping with our show format, new talent, but we're going to keep the same old format here. So we're going to start out with the Pooh Crew 144, Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass 104. Hey, that's roughly a 40-point win right there, if my math is correct, which I think it is. So Ian gets a high score for the week, and Triple D here, Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass, they avoided the Miyagi. What do you think about this one?
I think it's a shame that the Pooh Crew's got to win again. We're always interested in moves, right? That it kind of sparks a little bit more fun in the chat when he gets a loss. When he wins, it's just like, yes, I won. But if he loses, it goes down another path. So I like seeing the losses. I think there was really nothing that the dumbass could have done to help out Dr. Donkey into this, unless he would have, taken a couple players out of the Pooh Crew's lineup. But they tried their best.
Yeah. Not a bad score for these guys. They're the lowest scorers in the league, but they got a decent score. They would have beat a few guys this week. Yeah, Pooh Crew lost Monty early, but man, ETN and Amon Ra, Kelsey, the three key positions, they all scored really well for him. We got a 21.8 from ET, 24.4 from Amon Ra, 16.9 from Kelsey. That carried him on to the win. For for the triple D's there, we got Kyron Williams, man. He continued his tear, 21.8 points, man. He's been the surprise of Dynasty so far, fantasy, I should say. Don't you think they're goofy?
Yeah, he was a good pickup, was on the radar early on in that draft and got sniped. They took him out, and since they always get sniped, don't do any sniping. But yeah, he's been a big surprise to stick in there as not being an RB1, right? To stick in there and kind of get some points. But next week, I think he's not going to do as well as he did for them this
No,
year.
no, looks like he's going to miss at least a week. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I guess it's ankle, but I haven't heard high or low. So far, I'm hearing they don't expect him to miss too much time. But it's been pretty amazing because he was somebody I was high on early in the draft process last year, but or it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, but he didn't test well, and he was drafted a little bit later, and I wasn't really high on him. But man, he's been a true workhorse, and he's one of those guys where maybe things don't look as good on paper, but he's getting it done in real time, And good system there, and McVay's a good coach, and I mean, I guess he saw something in him that he thought would work, and got rid of everybody else, and he's just got the workhorse going, man. So yeah, he's been good for him, man. It's been that's been a good one for him. They had Chuba in last week too, and Chuba, he's looked better than Sanders so far. Sanders has been injured. He had groin, and now he's got shoulder, and he missed the game. But Chuba looked pretty good there. So yeah, not much else for him though, man. Stroud and Nico, their stack was a 24.16 combined. So not much out of their top QB and receiver there. Not a big surprise here that Pooh Crew got the win.
Yep, not a lot of depth going on with what's there, but they're rebuilding, they're trying. So I think they got a pretty good base, and if they keep up with it, they might be able to make it into the Who Cares Bowl here next year.
Aspirations for 2024. I like
Yep.
it, man. I like it. All right, we'll go on to our next score. We got the DBs 129, Silly Dilly 101. So the DBs underachieved, Dilly overachieved, but still came out just like Vegas thought it would. The odds were on the DBs, and that's what happened. They got the win. Anything here?
No, I think they got the win. It cost them a little bit, right? How long are they going to be without some of their starters? I think McCaffrey got hurt. How long
Yeah.
is he really going to be out? So that'll be interesting, just how they can plug someone in from their deep roster to fill that need and not move on. But It was a shame that they won again. Just tired of hearing about them win, just like everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they'll be able to plug someone in and move them right on up. Seeing that, I mean, I guess the surprise in this, right? You do got a couple picks that you've seen Dilly pick up and do well with, as he's building that lineup back. But Adam Thielen, man, I mean, he like comes out of the woodwork when he's needed. Just
Yeah.
lining.
Yeah, I heard some guys talking about Thielen like, oh, he's just getting garbage time, blah blah blah. But I watch Carolina just about every week, and he's involved early and often, and he looks good. He hadn't been able to stay healthy for the last couple seasons with Minnesota, but he's staying healthy now, and he looks good, man. The guy gets open, and Young can count on looking up wherever Thielen's supposed to be, and he's got a little bit of separation at 33 years old. He runs good routes and he's getting separation and he's doing well, man. I think he's like the wide receiver 3 right now in half PPR.
It's
Yeah,
crazy from an old man.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I love it. Good on the old guys, man.
Shout out to the old guys.
There you go. I love to see it. I love to see it. Yeah, they lost DBs lost CMC early there. But freaking Cheetah gave him 25.3 points. And Henry had a good game at 18.3. More what you're expecting from Henry. His usage has been down a little bit, but he put together a good game for him. So they didn't need a whole lot. Dylan didn't have a lot going on there. Myers, he's looking good too. Jacoby Myers had 14.6, and he's a big part of that offense, and that's been a good one for him too. But he got a combined 10.5 from his running backs, Jaleel McLaughlin and Craig Reynolds. Seems to me like someone's missing Tony Pollard. Wonder if he probably should have held on to him instead of training the freaking poo crew. What do you think about that?
And he definitely helped the Poo Crew win, but yeah, didn't need Pollard. I don't think he fit in the lineup, where he meant. But yeah, definitely missing some running backs. And I think now I think in right Detroit, Reynolds might be the guy, right? They've
Yeah,
been getting injuries, so it might have been a week early, but
yeah,
keep
true.
him up there and see what happens. But yeah, other than a couple of those big picks, Zay Flowers had a pretty good game, and
Yeah, yeah,
but then some of that depth, it's just some of these guys just that
yeah.
you show up aren't.
Yeah, big time lack of depth. He's starting Sam Howell as his top QB. Of course, he lost Rodgers early on, so that was a kind of a big blow to him. But he's been putting together some decent. Well, he loves to say he he announced too early he was 5-1 against the old man. Said he wanted to play the old man every week, but I don't know. I'm looking at the scores. It looks like the old man beat him this week, so I think that's a 4-2. Not that I'm bragging or anything on it, but yeah, a little sideline there. Sorry there, but I had to say something, man.
No, I got it in my notes too because I caught that too, 5-1, and he was saying it a little bit early, so
Yeah, yeah.
he
That was
missed
like
that.
that was like that Deshaun Jackson celebration where he got the ball knocked out at the 1 yard line, man.
Yeah, oops.
Oops, oops. Yeah, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, dude, we still got a whole lot of ball to be playing. You're proclaiming that you beat me 5 out of 6 weeks. But yeah, I guess he jinxed himself there, man. Hopefully that'll continue. Uh, Spoiler alert when we get to the matchups of who I'm playing. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're
well,
right. Go ahead.
I said we'll see because I was scrolling through the matchups this week, and I think he gets his chance to see is this really
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, now he gets to do it in real time. Yeah, that's the one that really counts here. So, but you're right. Reynolds with Monty out, Reynolds could be a little something for him. Although when Monty was out game earlier in the season, actually Jameer Gibbs got the lion's share of the work, and I think I had Reynolds at that time, and maybe played him thinking that he just had that Monty role. And that's not the way it worked out. Now Jameer's coming off of injury; he may be in there, but Reynolds may get a little more play now that Monty's out. Jameer coming off the injury, so yeah, he may have a little something there. But man, sure could use Tony Pollard right about now, especially after losing James Conner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll go on to our third score here. We've got the Prince 111, Goofy Jay-Z 88. So yeah, you and your first rounders are successfully staying in the bottom four there. So John got a big day from Cooper Cup to pace him to the W. Any observations on this one, sir?
Yeah, I mean, the only big takeaway I got from this is I'm going to start a defense, and then I'm going to swap up for whoever I think I'm going to play, because that's all that matters to me. I still can't play the right defense, and I
Man,
know that wouldn't have helped me much, but
yeah, it's just uncanny though, man. You may be onto something. You make, do your homework, make your best choice, and then go the opposite way.
I'm going to try it this week, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think Philly against the Jets was the play. It really was, but we all saw what happened up there in New Jersey, and Jets put a little something on them. That kind of hurts you with Jalen Hurts too. Down day for him. It's amazing that he gets 19.9, and there's guys starting quarterbacks to be like, man, I'd kill for 20 points from my QB, and he's got 3 interceptions and gets 19.9.
Yeah,
So man, that's crazy. That's just crazy. I did see that. I had announced I had I'd watched the game, and I said in chat that one of those interceptions wasn't his fault. Looking at the people looking at the game film said that another one of the interceptions was not his fault. I can't remember who they put it on. I don't think it was the receiver. I think it was sort of like a blocking assignment or something blown, and the ball didn't come out right or something like that. But they were saying that 2 of the 3 interceptions weren't really his fault. The third one, which was the game loser, was his fault. It wasn't just a bad throwing in triple coverage kind of thing and trying to make something happen. And that was a bad pass. But um, yeah, it's just one of those things where a couple of those weren't his fault, and just had a little bit of a down day. Otherwise, yeah, maybe you could have been in the mix, because you think about it, you take away those, and he's got 25, and you're up in the 90s anyway. So
maybe a defensive change, and I would have had it.
yeah, that and the defense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a kind of a down day for with Burrow and Chase, man. They started off good. I've got Chase in another league, and I'm getting updates on Chase making big plays, and I'm like, oh yeah, gonna be a Chase day. I ended up losing in that league by like 3 points, because it was like two or three big plays and then nothing. It was just crazy, man. So Sean was kind of lucky to catch you on a down day too, with those guys not playing really well. Olave got him a touchdown, had a decent day. Cup, I mean, gosh, timely for Sean losing Justin Jefferson and getting Cup and getting 24.3 from him.
Yeah, Cup definitely showed up. Justin Jefferson, where was he at? I was looking in the lineup. Is he hurt? Is he hurt?
Yeah, yeah.
I missed that one. Sorry. I'll catch up. See if he's hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I think he might be out for a few weeks. So yeah, that's a tough one for Sean. But yeah, getting Cup is good. But yeah, if he had them both in there, man, he'd be a little happier. I saw that Jameson got the TD, 12.3 from Jameson. So that's got to be good for you looking forward, looking forward to, the rest of this season and next season.
Yeah, he's kind of that big bomb threat. If he's getting a big bomb, he's doing all right. But if not, I mean, he might get 1 or 2 looks outside. So hopefully he's on the mend, and he can maybe get a couple of those in there and get in the mix. And with Detroit just playing well,
Yeah.
maybe he'll start doing better.
Yeah. No, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I think I saw one of the, not the touchdown, but they were showing like him doing like almost looking like it was a go route, but then like stopping on a dime and turning in, and the pass was right there from Goff. That looked really good. That was a really good route that he ran there. The touchdown was kind of funny if you think you saw the touchdown, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, it was like the ball had hang time like a punt. He's Goff just threw it up to the corner, inside corner, the not the outs, not the far corner, but the short corner of the end zone. And it's like Jameson's turned one way and then the other and then back again, and it just comes right down to him. But it was like it was like suspense, man, because you're like, when's that ball going to come down, and is he going to be in position for it? Yeah, you got to go back and watch that one. It was kind of a funny looking touchdown, but hey, it was a long bomb that he got, and kind of made his day there. So it was a good day for him, getting back in the mix, and uh, yeah, could be a good guy for you moving forward there.
Yeah. Hope he
Better
hope he's
day, huh?
gonna
Hope
say
he's
hope
what?
he's able to get healthy and stay in, stop making some bad decisions,
Yeah,
on the sideline,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's
It's
had
gotta be smarter. Yeah, when we were talking our trades and Jameson was in the mix, if we went the other way, I was saying maybe I'll get Jameson, on a dart throw, and you believe in him still, and I was saying, yeah, just you got to wonder if he's a knucklehead or not. So hopefully he cleans that stuff up and starts to play the way he was doing in Alabama there.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll go on to our next score. We've got FNG in the winners column this week. FNG 111. Yeah, yeah.
Say that again. What'd you say?
FNG with a win, 111 to 103 over A Bomb. So poor A Bomb came crashing back to earth. Well, FNG finally caught a break. Wasn't a big score for him, but he got the win. He was on the good side of a low score this week.
Yeah, and I think catching a bomb just on a down week, right? There wasn't much that he could have done to kind of turn that around for what was in there, and he caught him on a down week. F&G had a good week. I mean, he played any other quarterback, he just destroyed him, and it wasn't as close to where it was at. But
Yeah, yeah,
it was a good one to see, kind of just getting some of that balance in the league, right? Not having everybody undefeated or no wins. So we expect a lot out of F&G, and maybe he's making his climb now to the top.
yeah. I mean, he caught some good luck. He caught some bad luck, and finally caught a little bit good luck. That Fields, man, 4.92 for him. That's just brutal. But he uh, he had double digits. I wrote him down. He had yeah, and Fields went out with the injury, so it wasn't just a bad day. He went out with injury, but he got double digits from Bijan, AJ Brown, Mari Cooper, Ramondre, Kenny Walker, Drake London. So he had solid days from all those guys to kind of make up for Fields going out early, and all good. You know, Mostly young guys. Cooper's a little up there, but these are guys he's trying to build his team with. So good to see them kind of pull through for a win there for him.
Yeah, yeah, it was good to see it, and can't say anything bad about A Bomb. He's got about 3 feet and about 35, 40 pounds on me, but he just caught an off week. I mean, he got, Mostert kind of blew it up, and some of the other guys just, duds. Devontae Adams just not having a good game, and I think he got less than 10 points or double digits from just about everybody else that was
Oh
out there.
yeah, yeah. All his wide receivers let him down. And freaking Todd Monken hasn't realized that Mark Andrews is a good player. I mean, you watch. I watched. There was the early game there, the London game with Baltimore and Tennessee, and you're like, why aren't they going to Andrews? Just I mean, it's probably the best guy they got. I mean, Zay Flowers has come in and done a good job, but I mean, just not much going with Andrews, and he's the guy you need to be looking at in the red zone. I don't care, you know, he's the
Yeah.
guy you need to be looking at. So yeah, Raheem did all he could for him. 32.7, man. Raheem's had some big games. Um, but that's pretty much all he had going. That's like a third of his score was Raheem Mostert. One guy getting a third of your score is probably not a good thing on most weeks, right? So
Yeah, you got a guy that blows it up and you think, all right, this is gonna
yeah,
start well, and then everybody else on the team called and says, we're taking the week off. Thanks for carrying us.
yeah, yeah. And that's A-Bomb's that's his roster sometimes, you know. It's a little boomer bust, and it was a little bust this week. Most I mean, I in other leagues I'm in, the guy who had Raheem won handily, you know. And and he wasn't far off from it. He was only 8 points shy, but man, like I said, his receivers all let him down. That you know, Jacobs wasn't great either, and Devontae Adams not really good, and just yeah, all of it just was kind of fizzled out for him this week after such a great week last week, man.
Yeah.
That's fantasy football for you though, you know.
Yeah, but you get the lucky ones with the unlucky ones where they matter. And I mean, he won the whole thing, just out of a couple right picks. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
1 week won't bring him down.
No, he'll be back. He'll be back up there in the 180 to 200 range. Down a week for Buffalo too. You know, Allen didn't have a great game. Davis was pretty much non-existent. So, all right, we're going to move on to our last score of the week, which is my game against Take Top Mike. It was the Johnsons 107, the Top Tanker 81. I can't believe that DeMarcado didn't carry Tank Top to victory. Wasn't a great day for me either, but I got the W.
Yeah, I was talking to the tanker and giving him some tips on how to do this the right way. And I told him that he better ask about your Johnson. And I think that, if he did that the right way, definitely, he ended up with the loss. So he's trying to hang down there with us in the bottom and get out of the top where he's at. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple good players out there, but I mean, I think from the both sides, right? I mean, tight ends been a tough spot all year for a lot of us, but tight ends were, I mean, non-existent when you got big expectations from Kittle
Yeah,
and so
big letdown. But that's Kittle. I mean, I uh I knew having him on my roster before I traded him off. That's what you get. He's either blocking and the running backs are killing it, or he's out there getting 2, 3 touchdowns at least, you know, looking at 10 targets and a bunch of catches for a lot of yards, you know. So yeah, what a letdown after that big week against my Dallas Cowboys. You know, he comes out there and I think what he got one catch for not much. So yeah, that one definitely hurt. But I didn't have much more. But funny to think that Hayden Hurst from Carolina beat out Kittle in the tight end spot, you know.
yeah,
I
I
kind
mean,
of huh?
so you think with McCaffrey going down too, right? They'd reach out,
Right.
but they
And
couldn't do
Debo.
anything against the Brownies.
Yeah, yeah. And Debo and Kittle down and or Debo and McCaffrey down and Kittle can't do anything. But I think the way it was going, they needed Kittle to block because even with him staying in the block, Purdy was just under duress a lot. So it was just game of their life for the Cleveland defense there, you know.
Yeah, and I thought I saw somewhere that they said that Cleveland has let up the least amount of yards in the NFL to date so far this year.
Yeah, it could be. They're
So,
they're they're definitely good. It's weird to think their record isn't better than it is, but yeah, Watson being out, and I don't know, even with Watson in, the offense is a little unsettled. They hadn't hit their stride. Lost Chubb, of course, you know. So But yeah, they rallied. They rallied, man. They played really well. I thought I was telling Sean, I'm like, man, the games suck, man. Why do they got San Francisco and the Browns, and Carolina, Miami? I get it because we're in Carolina, and then Philly and the Jets on the late game. These games suck. Turned out to be some of the best games, man. And I watched a lot of the Browns in San Francisco, and I watched a lot of Philly and Jets. All of it was pretty good. So I'm sorry, I know you you differ opinions on the Philly game, but it was
Yeah,
still a good game. It was two teams rising up, man, rallying, playing good defense. So
yeah, he made a bad decision in the Philly game, and it cost him. So hopefully he learns from it. But and like you said with the Browns, I think it's just more they got some deep tissue issues that they need to work out. Keep Watson back in there. If that offense can spark where the defense is at, I mean, could be some good things coming for them.
yeah, I've heard massage is good for that deep tissue stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, not a lot to say about this one. Yeah, not a great day for me, but enough. I think Tua and Waddle helped me immensely. The Brees Hall looking like a good trade for me right now, and he had another good day. But yeah, a lot of other underachievers on my roster, unfortunately, especially freaking Marquise Brown, 11 targets, 5.4 points.
Yeah, that's
Not a very
crazy.
good, not a very good average there, but Dallas defense, I think I jinxed them. I really do. I don't know. I'm hoping that they get back to the 20, 30 point gains, but I mean, going into the last drive, Dallas had 1 point, and they got a sack and an interception on back-to-back plays on the last drive for LA Chargers, and they ended up with four. So, and another reason I got that win in another league that kind of ticked off one of the other NAO show hosts. It was
Expo. Ex.
ex-host, ex-host. That's right. That's right. The heck with him. He's done, man. He's out of here. But yeah, it's funny. We Cooks got the touchdown, and I think he had a rush, and he had another catch, and we were up like 4 points. I'm like, whoo, man. And Dak's driving, and I'm like, man, if CD gets a touchdown, we're done here. But they ended up going for the field goal. He uh, Pollard just missed a touchdown catch in the end zone. They ended up kicking the field goal, and on that last drive, they get the sack and they get the interception. I'm like, oh crap! I had to look back, and we were ahead by less than 1 point on that thing. So I'm like, man, I don't know if Sean usually goes to bed early. I'm like, I don't know if he's seeing this or not, but one way or another, he's going to be tilted when he does see it because we won it by less than a point there. So anyway, I digress greatly here, but yep, I get the win. Tank Top gets the loss. I think we're both happy with that, but it does bring us to the Mr. Miyagi ass waxing of the week, which does go to Tank Top Mike with a paltry score of 81 points. Tank Top was nice enough to give me a little statement before we fired him, and he says, "One man's Miyagi is another man's evil plan." Mwahaha.
Nice.
So I'm guessing that Tank Top was okay with this Miyagi.
Yeah, he was finally, he's tanking. He kept winning. He's putting up some
Yeah,
points. He's like,
yeah,
I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. So
yeah.
back on track. Back on track.
I think it was last week, right? Worst tank job ever,
Yeah.
scoring 163 points or whatever it was. So, well, why don't we run down the standings? Do you want to take a quick look at those and give us some observations?
Yeah, we can take a look at the standings here. So Tim, what's that? Gotta make sure I'm
Oh.
doing the standings right here, so I got the right outfit on for the standings, like the weatherman. So hopefully I get this right here. But I think if we go over the top, no real changes, right? To speak of in the top three. It's still the same three that we've been dealing with, and I guess right now we're just trying to balance out who's in the Who Cares Bowl after you got the DBs and the Poo Crew hanging out at the top. A-Bomb's kind of bouncing up and down in there, and
got those points though.
yeah, that he's definitely winning with that.
He's,
And then
he's still got more points than the Poo Crew, but one less win.
he gets that win though, he's jumping right back up
There you
where
go.
it belongs. And then you look with the doesn't matter bowl right now. You're climbing. Made a good trade, trying to get some depth in there. So you should be in the top four probably after next week. We see who's in the top four now. So it's got some there. You guys are climbing up. And then if we look at the bottom four, we know everyone is moving down further. Right? Tank Top is tanking back on track, so he's falling back down into that. And
yeah, just on the outside looking in, but he's got less points than FNG. So if he can get another loss, man, he can make it.
yeah, and FNG's creeping, right? He's creeping right
Yeah.
back now, so he's doing good there. And then we come up to Dilly, and I think he's got a key game coming up this week because he's 4-2. Sorry, 4-2
Yeah.
against one. So it's time for him to perform.
That's right, man.
You might need to call the dumbass instead of Dr. Donkey and get the other pill to make sure that you stand strong for this one and make it 5-2 instead of falling 4-3. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
There you
And
go.
then
Yep.
then you've got that dummy with too many first round picks. Keep falling. One of these days, the doctor is going to win a game. I think he plays me coming up soon, so we'll see how we can get him back up a game or two. But yeah,
I don't know.
I'll say seems like points are going to matter, right? As these things are climbing up, points are definitely going to matter again this year.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting, man. It's a weird season with this early people thinking about wanting to be in the bottom four and playing for that top draft pick. I'm glad nobody is actually tanking. I'm seeing everybody set good lineups. So that's keeping with NAO bylaws and traditions as it were. But yeah, it's really quite interesting, man. And then yeah, I'm sitting there looking at myself at 5, and man, freaking thinking about, oh, can I get up there into the top 4? Well, if it's for points, I better start scoring some damn points. I mean, 2 wins didn't make up any kind of points, so that makes it interesting too. I'm kind of trying to do a dilly. I gotta get it by wins, I think. We'll have to see, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. Sean probably with a tougher schedule than me, and trying to hang on to that 4th spot. So it's pretty interesting. But the top 3, man, they're in there pretty good right now.
Yeah,
they got the.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say they got the points, and if it comes down to points, Sean and I are definitely behind when it comes to.
All you got to do is get in. Once you get into the playoffs, points don't matter. So
no,
once you
that's
get
true,
in,
man.
should be interesting coming down the stretch.
Yeah, very true, very true. All right, man. Well, let's get on to the matchups going into next week. Let me shift gears here and look at week 7 instead of week 6. And we are going to start off, of course, with the Marky Mark matchup of the week. We've got Ask Me About My Johnson going up against Silly Dilly. It's kind of slim pickings this week. When you look at the matchups, there's not anything that jumps out and says, "Oh yeah, boy, this is a good one." So I went with my matchup against Dylan in the week of the bipocalypse, as some call it. I'm trying to pull a dilly, as I said, and make the playoffs with an inferior roster. Who better to learn from than the master himself? And I'm playing him this week. What are your observations on this matchup?
Yeah, I think you've got him on a week where it's going to be tough for him to pull out that win. Just knowing, I mean, he's got, like you said, a lot of buys going on. I think he's starting 3 tight ends. That might be trying to just blow some smoke, but I mean, you see the guys they're on buys, right? That he's missing Thielen, Woods is out, so Thielen's been kind of tearing it up for him. He does have Barrios though on the bench, so we know what happens when you stick him in. He might be making a call to A-bomb to pull some of those Cheerio Barrios luck in the 87-point game. But I mean, yeah, he's got just a couple guys on buys. I mean, he's only got one option at quarterback, and hoping that some of those injuries in Detroit and Denver, are helping out his back situation. So he's got a
Yeah.
chance. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen, but
Oh yeah,
he's
of
got
course.
a lot. And you're pretty strong. I mean, you still got most of your starters out. I know that Hall's out, but you slide someone in place there, and I think your Johnson is starting there. They don't have very many options, so he should get quite a bit of touches. So it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out, and if we're going to 4-3 or if we're going to 5-2.
Yeah, yeah. You mean the head-to-head matchup, right? So
It's
someone,
the only matchup that counts. That's all that matters.
yeah, funny that he's been keeping track of that. The me and the old man matchup, as he calls it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was calling it the tight end triple flex. I'm always trying to come up with fun ways to say things, and he's got the tight end triple flex, not officially, but he's got right there 3 in a row. He's got his tight end and his 2 flex spots. He's got Laporta, Fant, and Higby. So man, yeah, certainly missing Thielen this week, and Connor being out with the injury. That's a rough one, man. Trying to make up that. He said he's down to one quarterback. At least they're playing the Giants. He's got Howell playing the Giants, so maybe that'll work out for him. He had a pretty good week last week. Howell did so, and catching me with Brees Hall and the Cowboys defense out. Yeah, I've got. I'm right now staring down Elijah Moore in there. The crazy thing about Elijah Moore, man, the in 4 out of 5 games, he's had a minimum of 8 opportunities. So it's 8 or more opportunities per game, but he's just not doing anything with it right now. So I don't know, man. It's a plus matchup, but we don't know who's playing quarterback right now, and um, that's been a disappointing one for me. I listen to podcasts and I do all this work. And Elijah Moore was a going to Cleveland was a big name in the off season, but it just hasn't materialized and may end up being a bust here before it's over with. One more week. I'm going with him 1 more week with the buys just to see can he do a little something for me there.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's getting the chances, but he's not doing anything with it. Maybe he needs to send
Yeah.
some lotion to him if he plays, and hopefully, they can work something out.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with my girl. Just make it happen. Yeah, he's had they're giving him rushing opportunities and they're giving him targets, and it's just not really doing anything right now. So I don't know. Like I said, could end up being a bust situation, unfortunately, on somebody that a lot of people were, a lot of experts, quote unquote, were high on, and just hasn't materialized, unfortunately. So I do, with the Dallas defense out, that was a big part of our trade. I'm counting on those 20, 30 points. Um, but got Las Vegas in there against Chicago, and I just need my studs not to be duds this week, and I think I can get it done. I think I can go to 4-3 against Silly Dilly, but man, I probably will turn off chat and everything for a while if I don't.
Yeah, we'll see how that one works out. And like you said, you've got the defense going against where one of your backs are. So one way or another, you got to hope the right guys show up, or
Yeah, right.
they run the ball a lot, but then you've got rookie quarterback potentially starting. So
Yeah.
see how that pans out.
Yeah. Yeah, Roshan still hasn't cleared the protocol. He should. If he doesn't, I'm probably going to be kind of concerned for him because it's not good to miss. Most of the guys that have gone into protocol have missed one game. I think I was trying to remember. I think there was one exception, but I can't recall off the top of my head. But most of the guys have missed one game. But if he doesn't get cleared here soon, I'm going to be concerned for him. And it was a big hit he took. I saw the play live, and he took a big hit, but I don't think he went out right away. I think someone looked back and was like, "Dude, we got to get him out of the game." He took a pretty hard hit to the head there, and haven't seen him since. So I'm hoping he gets back in there.
Yeah, it'll be good to see if he makes it. But like you said, after that hit,
Yeah,
you might have to stick Foreman in there.
yeah, I got him. I got him. If that happens, he wasn't great last week, but maybe maybe he can do a little bit better. He's got a plus matchup there with Las Vegas. So. All right, let's go on to our next matchup. We've got the Prince versus FNG. This could have easily been the Marky Mark matchup, but I put them second here. Yeah, Prince trying to hold on to the playoffs. FNG is trying to claw his way up there. He's got 7.5 more points for than Sean right now. So if he can close that gap on Sean, he's got the points for now, slightly. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and then he'll have the tiebreaker too. So this will be a double whammy game, right? He gets the tiebreaker, he can get the points, and I think same thing, right? F and G's on the up. Sean's dealing with a lot of injuries and trying to just plug people in and see what happens. I mean, he's praying for Green Bay to throw the ball with love a bit and
Yeah.
hope something happens there. But if NG pans out the way that the experts say, I mean, he's got some pretty good opportunities to where I know it came up before. He's got a lot of green on his matchups,
Yeah, he
right?
does.
And so there could be some big scoring going on in some of those games.
Yeah, you just got to know that Bijan has been good. The points aren't there. The touchdowns aren't there. I think he's got 2 receiving touchdowns and no rushing touchdowns. So you just know that it's coming for Bijan, and when it does, man, look out for FNG. But yeah, Sean's got a rough week with Burrow and Chase out, and like you said, he's got Love in there, quarterback. He was not good in week 5, but they do have Denver, so it's a good matchup for him there. Um, on the other side, FNG doesn't really have any big names out. Maybe Spears, somebody that he might think about flexing, but he's really the only name I saw that's out for him. Pretty much has his normal lineup, and he's favored right now in this matchup, and a lot of that because he does have his normal lineup, and Sean missing 2 big key pieces right now, and Jefferson being out, of course.
Yeah, and he's got I mean, Mixon's out too, so take another
Yeah,
back at situation. So hopefully
yeah,
Kareem Hunt, steps it up in Cleveland for him if that's his plan. But yeah, he's got to bank on some of these right guys, having these right games, or it
yeah.
could be Miyagi time for depending on how it works out.
I don't know if it'll be all that bad. His flex looks real good. Sean's with Olave, Cup, and Devontae Smith. Now Smith's been down a little bit. It's been all about AJ Brown, and I don't know what you think, Goofy, but the uh, the Eagles to me just they haven't hit their stride on offense. They've been kind of they haven't been as good as I think everyone thought they would be. And I know I don't know if you know about the Lane Johnson injury, if it's anything serious or if he might be back, but that was kind of a big hit on their offensive line too. So just and I got Goddard in 2 leagues and he hasn't been doing much, and yeah, it's just kind of hasn't been as good as I expected him to be.
Yeah, going from a good rushing team and then losing Johnson, right? Hopefully they pick up their stride, but they've kind of done this previous years, and then you see they'll start blowing it up. Hurts will throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns, and I
Yeah,
mean their defense has been keeping it in. Their defense has been pretty good. So
yeah,
if they
yeah,
they can go in an offense and get it moving. I think they got some good potential, but yeah, they haven't been clicking very well. I think Hurts
Yeah,
is he's going to blow up here after getting mad about losing to the Jets for
yeah,
the first time in history.
could
We'll see
be.
how that pans out.
Could be the best thing to happen to him. That I actually wasn't surprised that they lost to the Jets because every week I've been watching them and thinking, wow, well, I've got a buddy, Terry at work, a big Eagles fan from Philly, and every he's texting me after every game is like, well, it's an ugly win, but we got it,
All
and
the count.
this week he didn't text me, so I think he's still tilting. you know, ugly loss this week, but I hadn't been surprised. I wasn't surprised at all that they lost, but yeah, maybe they'll get it together. I think they need to get Devontae Smith a little more involved, really. Mix it up a little bit, open things up some. But yeah, we'll see, man. They got the weapons, but they haven't been clicking yet. I don't know. We'll have to see about that Lane Johnson. That's a big loss if they do lose him, big part of their offensive line.
Yeah, we got to stop spending our draft picks on defensive guys, and we blew two huge picks in the last couple of years. Missed out on Micah Parsons, and then JJ. He should have went to Philly. I was screaming at the TV during that draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get our offensive line up because Johnson, with him out, and then if Kelsey's going to retire here soon, I mean that's their offensive line, right? They're building around that. So
Yeah. 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 They do need to concentrate on that here, I think, pretty soon. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Should be a good one here between the Prince and FNG. Two. I mean, it's a kind of a key matchup if you think about it. Talking about one in the bottom four trying to work up and one in the playoffs trying to hold on. It's a big matchup
yeah,
on a big bye week. All right, let's go on to our next matchup. We've got Tank Top Mike versus A Bomb. So both these guys are in good shape with buys. Talking about the buy apocalypse here. Tank Top has to hope that A Bomb bounces back this week to keep his evil plan in motion.
yeah. I think A Bomb's got to call in some of his magic here to make sure that he can take this one out because there's a potential, like you said, they're both pretty full strength. So seeing Tank Top pull one of these out and catching A Bomb on a bad week again,
Yeah.
he's got to call the fantasy gods and see what he can do. Trade for Barry.
Yeah. Trade for Barrios. Yeah, man. He's Mahomes against the Chargers could carry the day for Tank Top. So A-Bomb's definitely had to bring his A game, and he's got his quarterback Allen in the stack with Gabriel Davis. They're going against New England. It's one of those division matchups, and sometimes they can be kind of an ugly game. You think about Minnesota, Chicago this past week, and you're thinking it should be two bad defenses. It should be a shootout, and it was what 19-16 or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
Kind of an ugly game because it was one of those division ones. Now New England. That's who Buffalo's playing. New England has been sucking out loud, but you have to wonder if Belichick will come up with a little something, and it's at home for New England. See if they can do a little something against Allen and Davis or not. If not, then A-Bomb could be back up on the high again.
yeah, and maybe Belichick's on the low, and when are they going to start having that conversation? Is he worn out? Is he done?
Yeah.
What's there? He's been stinking it up worse than Dr. Donkey and the dumbass have.
Yeah, I heard some guys talking today. Is like, do you fire Belichick? And the consensus was no. You don't fire him, but you're not surprised if one day he's saying that he's stepping away or stepping down. Uh, it's that quote stepping down.
Fired, fired.
Fired. So A-Bomb's got Mostert going against your Eagles. So I don't know. That's an interesting matchup. That Mostert has been a big part of A-Bomb's success so far. Tough defense there against Philly.
Yeah, that'll be tough. And like you said, a couple divisional matchups. As you look down the list, right? Buffalo, New England, you know, KC going against Chargers. So how will this pan out? So yeah, you look down, you see a lot of the orange and red on one side, and then you got
Yeah.
mostly green on the other. So
Yeah. Yeah.
another down week for A-bomb, and just a good chance for the that doesn't know how to tank top come through. And then what will he do? Will he start selling some more? Is he done? Where's he at with that?
Yeah, true. If he gets another win and he's got the points, does he go the other direction? Pull the
Yeah,
old switcheroo on us.
I
Yeah,
heard he had first. He can call me. I might be looking for one. I don't know that I have any, but I might have someone that can fill in the gap there for you.
it would be such a goofy thing to just get all the first round, you know? I could see you just going for all the first, just sell everybody. You're playing guys that aren't even starting, but you
There
got
you
all the firsts.
imagine the draft next year. I'm going to take all 24 hours for each pick.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't want to see that happen. I'll lose my freaking mind. I'll go on vacation. I'll hit the start button and I'll go to the beach or something, man. Just take the weekend off.
I'll go with you because I won't have anything going on.
Yeah. You and I posting pictures in chat, out drinking, having a good time. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get to that pick sooner or later, you know.
Yeah, pulling FNG. Oh, I've got DMs. Where? Those are out there.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, let's see. Yeah, only other things I had down in my notes here is Kittle does have a good matchup against Minnesota. Maybe they'll get him back involved. We don't know. The freaking most Shanahan thing ever. Talking about the injuries. Uh, he said that the Debo and the McCaffrey injuries don't seem to be long term, but they're playing Monday, I think, right? Am I correct that they're the Monday night game? Let me look here. I got the wrong one up here in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah, they got the Monday night game. Yeah. And so, you give this ambiguous statement about the injuries and nobody knows what the hell to do. I got Elijah Mitchell, I've got Jordan Mason, and if I knew that McCaffrey's going to be out, one of those, or even maybe even both of them would be good in the flex or something. But he's like, they don't seem to be long term. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, he's trying to
So
screw with the fantasy world so that everyone starts
exactly.
and they drop it in the last minute. Yeah, we're gonna sit him out this week. He
Yeah.
needs some rest.
You got to think if those two guys were out, Debo and McCaffrey, and Kittle's got to be a good matchup there in Minnesota. And then Tank Top's got Swift going against Miami. That's a real good one too. So it's funny how the running back matchups in that game, um, Philly Miami, they're good both ways. And that could be a big part of both these. So you got Devontae and on A-Bomb's side, Devontae and Jacobs against Chicago, but they're probably starting Hoyer. I don't think they're going to start Aiden O'Connell. So going in against, it's a good matchup against Chicago, but might be the backup quarterback. I think Hoyer is what, like 37 or something like that. I mean, I love the old guys, but that's going a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get the start too. That just from what I've seen, I don't see him starting Aiden out there, but never know. Maybe the old guy gets hurt in the first quarter and something happens. But
Yeah, true, true. But it's McDaniel, he's going to go with the old tried and true, guy that knows his system. So I think if I don't think Garoppolo's going to play, I think it's probably going to be Hoyer there. So all right, let's go on to our next matchup here. We've got the Pooh Crew versus Goofy Jay-Z. So you're a bit more affected by the buys. I think, but Ian does have Pollard on bye, and he's got the injury to Monty, David Montgomery. So I think he should still get it done, but it's not a slam dunk with Pollard on bye and having to replace Monty there. What do you think?
yeah, and he's got some tough matchups too for who he's got to put in there. These divisional matchups. When they come in, sometimes they matter. They're the tough games. So
Yeah, yeah.
the experts say that he's going to win. I always struggle when I play the Poo Crew and I stink it up. Guys just fall off the face of the earth. But hopefully, we got Green Bay playing Denver, and hopefully their defense shows up like they've been showing up here over the last couple weeks. So I've got pretty much who I can play in there. So hopefully some of these green matchups help, and some of these buys I just catch the right week, right, and I can score half a point more than the Poo Crew, and
Yeah.
we can hear how upset he gets, and well, I lost because of, and this is because of, and Jonathan Taylor is here, and he didn't get paid enough money, and just a bunch of things. So it'll be fun to follow in the chat after that one, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
never
yeah.
know. Mike might be looking to move some pieces, so I might sell some picks. I might gain some picks. The word's out on the street. I've got gaps to fill and capital. So sit back and watch the show or send me a message. I've heard that trades don't take a minimum of 3 weeks to 6 months to take anymore. So hey, drop a line. You never know how much it's going to go through.
Wow. Good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to it. This is a bigger matchup than I thought, I didn't think this was one of the key matchups, but it could be. Just could be. I'd say a lot of green for you, a lot of red and orange for Poo Crew. It's unlikely, but stranger things have happened, as you said earlier. Stranger things have happened in fantasy football. So I think that would be just lovely. I could stand a few Ian rants if you won this one. I can handle that.
I'll take a couple rants over should we sing the national anthem at games, or something that actually matters to fantasy
Yeah.
football. Just what the excuse was. He didn't get a trade or what happened, but it,
Yeah.
I'll take that rant. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Dylan wouldn't trade because he was really concerned about beating the old man again.
Yeah, and they both lost.
And they both lost. Son of a bitch.
That could be a good one.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. All right, we're going to go on to our last matchup of the week, see if we can wrap this show up. We've got the DBs versus Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass. So I'm trying to figure out how the DBs got Dylan and Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass back to back. Back to back. So
It is
Dylan,
bye weeks. It is bye weeks, so they got two buys coming up here.
yeah, yeah. And I know freaking Landon's loving the alliteration. We got Dylan and Dr. Donkey and a dumbass. That's a lot of D's. We know the DBs love some D,
Yeah,
but I digress here. So yeah.
stick it to them. Stick it to them.
So listen, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for just a second, okay? Evan made the schedule template. And I've given him props for it. He made it in the other league that I play in with Evan, and I liked it, and we've used it for the last 2 years here in the NAO. So he made the template. This year I had Brandon enter the schedule on the site. I'm not pointing any fingers, but I am giving a stink eye in their general direction. I'm wondering, did they work this out ahead of time? These guys are smart guys, man. They might have worked this out ahead of time. How in the hell does a top four team get Dylan and then Dr. Donkey and the dumbass back to back to back like that?
Yeah, and if you look too, I mean, Dr. Donkey's got everybody on a bye, so he's just
Yeah,
playing who can play at this point. So
yeah.
this is a bye week for the DBs, but I will send Dr. Donkey a care package if they're able to win this one. Right? There's an opportunity here.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah. Hit me up. Hit me up. Yeah, there you go. Give a few more first rounders up. Yeah, I mean, you look at on a normal week. Um, DB's got Henry, they got Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, C.D. Lamb. You look at that and you're like, oh man, they're gonna have a rough time. I'd like to know who traded them all those players that they have in their lineup right now. That kind of pisses me off. Looking at trying to keep parity in the league here. And these guys just, they got all those guys on by, and you look at their lineup and you're like, fuck me, man. It looks pretty good.
You got better
I'll,
starters than I do,
I'll
and I got all my guys in.
yeah, they got the highest projection. Um, yeah, so it's just crazy, man. You look at the DBs, they got four rookies in the starting lineup. Charbonnet, Kendre, Rashi Rice, uh, JSN. You look at that and you think, okay, there's better days ahead for Dr. Donkey and the dumbass here. Those are good names. I like all those guys, but those are not the guys you want in your lineup going against what the DBs have right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the DBs, they get a guy on by and we don't even notice. Eckler's out and they're able to throw somebody else in there, right? So it's like they're not on bye weeks. Whoever keeps
No,
trading with guys, you got to stop.
yeah. I mean, Eckler was injured. He was out, and yeah, like I said, didn't even notice. Yeah, they definitely got a stacked roster, man. They took advantage of the top tanker here. I didn't want to
And
mention any names, but he's not a host on the show anymore, so I may as well just throw him under the bus, right?
cut them out. Cut them out. We even got the wardrobe going. But you look, right? They've got Prescott out. They've got Henry's
Yeah,
out. McCaffrey's hurt. Gibbs is hurt. A-Chain's out. Garrett Wilson's out. Higgins is out. CD Lamb's out. The
yeah,
Jets defense, no one cares about them. But I mean, and they're still projected to what, 125 points? So I
yeah.
mean, come on
Highest pro
now.
highest
They've got
projection.
a good team on a bye, a whole team on a bye,
Yeah,
and they're out there projecting to destroy somebody.
yeah, yeah. Pretty disgusting, man. Pretty disgusting. I said that a couple weeks ago. I said that Triple D there wouldn't go winless, but they're trying really hard to prove me wrong. 0-5 and going up against the best team this week and best roster, I should say right now. I don't know if they're the best team, but they're the best roster anyway.
Good roster. The owners, I mean, maybe we can do some better with it. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
having Tim Irsay as your owner,
yeah.
but
I'm still really wondering about how this all shook out that they get the lowest scoring team points for in the bipocalypse, Loop missing all those guys and they get the Dr. Dunk and the dumbass. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I'd like to make the schedule next year. I'm just coming out and saying that, but let's see how this plays out. I'm not saying I'll win every game or get that, but it does
Yeah.
seem kind of fishy that they get on the starting of these weeks off, right? That they get to buys on bye weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy. Yep. Yeah. Well,
Take him to school, Dr. Donkey. Take him to school.
that's
He's
right,
the
man.
professor.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see them active in trades and trying to do a little something about their matchup this week, but we'll see what happens. Well, I think you wanted to say a few things before I close the show
Yeah, we're looking, as we said in the beginning, we're making some changes. So we're going to change the ending of the show a little bit, because we all know who does and doesn't suck, right? We've seen that. So I just wanted to let you know that Tank Top, I got the wardrobe, and you suck, and Sean, you suck too.
out. All right. Well, thanks for coming on and picking up the slack. Yeah, I think we did okay, man. We'll get into our groove and that we'll forget about these other guys sooner than later, I'm sure. But it would not be an NAO show without our normal ending, which is Ian, you suck.